call the January 16th, 2025 meeting to order. I am going to present the opening meeting as stated. Roll call, please, Ms. Hillard.
Mr. Amsler?
Here.
Mr. Dackler?
Here.
Mrs. Getter is not present. Mr. Mallory?
Here.
Mrs. Neese? Here. Dr. Blessing?
Present.
Mrs. Hillard present. And Mr. Homan?
Here.
And then of note, our two student representatives. We have Mrs. Stocker and Mr. Prince.
Can we please stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve opening items C through G?
So moved.
Second. Ms. Hillard, is there, we'll go through each independent item from here. Ms. Hillard, is there anything on the financial report to go over?
All of the things that go along with the reports are attached in your packets. The only thing that I want to note for this month is that we're still functioning in the overall the overall general fund by $1.5 billion. This is the month of December is usually when we see some cash flow. Things have to be moved around and shifted to make sure cash flow stays functioning in a good place. And then we start seeing those tax advances roll in for the new year come January. So things are going to start changing here a little bit. Just to top things off, we've got year-end closing in our office, which is kind of a big deal. And then we've got W-2s and some tax processing going on. So our office is really busy. Nothing else going on other than that. Finishing up the audit and everything's going smooth. Any questions?
Nope. Next, we'd like to move on to recognition of citizens, staff, and students. And Mr. Amsler, read the district student of the month.
The Miamisburg Schools December District Student of the Month is Kinder Intermediate School student Quentin Brewer. Quentin was nominated by his teacher Sarah Duffinen, Christopher Randolph, Sam Lucas, and Pete O'Neill. They said, "We are thrilled to nominate Quentin Brewer for Student of the Month, who exemplifies the quality of empathy. Quentin consistently demonstrates an exceptional ability to understand and share the feelings of others, helping to make them feel valued member of our school community. In group activities, Quentin is always mindful of ensuring everyone feels included, whether by inviting quieter classmates to share their thoughts or by listening attentively when others speak. Quentin fosters a sense of belonging and mutual respect. His kind words and thoughtful gestures create a positive and welcoming environment for all. Quentin also makes others feel welcome in the cafeteria at lunchtime. He makes sure to include everyone at his lunch table, never saving or blocking off seats so others can't sit with him. He is truly appreciated by the cafeteria staff. Quentin is a role model for his peers, consistently leading by example and showing that empathy is not just a feeling but an action. His ability to understand, support, and uplift others truly sets him apart, and we think of him as a no better candidate for this recognition. So congratulations to Mr. Brewer for the Student of the Month.
Quentin, thank you. Congratulations. And I've got a medallion for you and a Viking t-shirt. Do you like adult small? Is that a good size? Because you're pretty tall, right? And so I'll get this for you. Would you like to shake everybody's hand? That's not a problem. It's not a problem. So Mr. Homan, here, why don't you hold this and we'll get a picture together. Is that okay? All right. Is this your best side? Congratulations. So 5th grade? Mm-hmm. So you ready for middle school next year? Yes. Excellent. We like to hear that. Okay. Well, congratulations. thanks for coming. I appreciate Mom coming along, right? Yeah, so. You can sit down. You did great.
Good job, Quentin. Next, we'd like to do School Board Recognition Month, January 2025. All students of the Miamisburg City School District benefit every day from the dedication and commitment to a quality education by our school board members. The hours and energy devoted to making the district a great place to learn do not go unnoticed. In sincere appreciation for exemplary leadership and service to public schools, these certificates are presented to Christopher Ansler, Corey Daffler, Nyla Getter, Jason Maury, and Ann Neese. Thank you. Next, we'd like to do recognition of National School Counseling Week. It is recommended that the board recognizes National School Counseling Week. School counseling, standards-based, student-focused, will be celebrated from February 3rd to 7th, 2025, to focus public attention on the unique contribution of professional school counselors within U.S. school systems. The Board of Education further recognizes that the comprehensive development school counseling programs are considered an integral part of the Miamisburg City School education process. Next, we would like to present Ann her gavel.
So on behalf of the
administration and board, we would like to present Ann Neese with her presidential gavel for her service as board president during the 2024 calendar school year. So thank you.
Thank you. Come on up. So you can go home and tell Don you're going to gavel all the meetings, right? So. Those are nice. That's right, call him to order. There you go. And thank you, Ann. Very much appreciated. We appreciate your time and service. My pleasure.
Thank you, Ann. Okay, do we have any other questions for items C through G? Roll call, please.
Mr. Daffler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter? Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Mr. Ansler?
Yes.
All right, next we go on to public comments. There's one green sheet. The commenter will give his or her name and address. Each person is allotted 3 minutes to speak. We have one green sheet, and that is Sandy Code.
Good evening. My name is Sandra Coe, 1921 Cudgel Drive in Miamisburg, Ohio.
Sandy,
Yes,
see if
microphone.
there's a button over there.
Yep.
Oh, try again. There you go.
Okay.
That's it.
Most people know me around town, even though I don't feel like a true Miamisburg person, yet I've lived in the district 36 years. Change could be a real good adjective to describe Miamisburg City Schools. I love Miamisburg and the school system. My own children graduated in 1999 and 2000. I have a granddaughter who's a 5th grader at Kinder and a grandson at Jane Chance who is a 3rd grader in the new Cross Cat Room. Memphis is autistic. You can ask Dr. Blessing at the beginning of all of this change. I was one of the, no, we can't do that. And before, or at the end of the 2023 school year, I sat down with her and we had a nice discussion. And I said, I'm on board as long as Savannah, my granddaughter, is, and so far, so good. My concern is with my grandson, Memphis. I happened to be at Jane Chance today. He used to ride bus 66 to and from school, but that changed, I don't know, a month or so ago. We received a letter that he would still ride bus 66 in the morning, which is good because he loves Mr. Sean and Miss Angie. His normal pickup time is about 8:20-ish in the morning, and drop-off time used to be 4:05-ish. He now rides bus 66 in the morning, but coming home, he's on bus 69. Today, he got home at 4:38. He got on the bus, because I saw him, I was at Jane Chance subbing today. He got on the bus at 3:40. Being on the bus that long isn't good for anybody, in my opinion. But especially for a special needs child like Memphis, who's autistic and is sitting on that bus for almost an hour before he gets home. It's hard for autistic kids sometimes, and I can tell you from taking care of Memphis a long time, and they can get meltdowns and things like that. I realize that bus drivers are hard to get, just like subs for the classrooms are.
30 seconds.
Pardon?
30 seconds.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
good.
But I would hope that the district could look at that bus situation, especially for those kids who just can't sit that long on a bus. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll check on that and get back to you, Sadie. Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Thanks. Yay, last time I went over.
All right, next we're on to item 4. It is recommended that the Board of Education present the first reading of the Neola Board Policy. There is no, we're just discussing this at this time, so do we have any questions?
I have one, or Chris, did I overspeak you?
Nope.
I thought you said so. So, you know, I'm working myself up a learning curve on a policy because the original manual I got was outdated 6 years. Last time it was updated was 2018. So understanding our current policy is something that I've been looking at as close as I possibly can, being that both volumes are about 900 pages long. And I've had some comments from some constituents of some concern about the security policy within this, especially for staff security and being able to assign private security off campus at their homes. And I had a couple questions just to understand how that policy was developed. I looked through the record and I couldn't find any deliberation. How did that happen? Because all it showed up in, I believe it was September of 2023, and it just kind of appeared with the recommendation of the superintendent that it be approved. I was curious, how was that policy deliberated?
Can I say that I think it was deliberated during executive session? Are we allowed to? We don't usually.
Public policy was deliberated by executive session?
No, the idea for it.
Oh.
Chris, you were part of that discussion.
I wasn't, so that's why I'm trying to understand where it came from.
Yeah, I know, Chris, you were a driving force behind that policy for the board policy, so.
So it came in regards to back when we were having COVID. We were having contentious board meetings, and we felt that in light of the meetings at the time, it was needed at the time to provide that opportunity for security if needed. If any one from the superintendent all the way down to classroom teacher or whatever the case may be was threatened or felt that they were being attacked to the point where their ability to come to and from work or even at work was jeopardized, that's how that kind of started. And then we put it in two of the contracts, and then after that, then it was decided to go ahead and put it in for any employee that felt the need. And that's kind of how it all started, was during the COVID, because there was obviously at that particular time, there was mixed opinions on not only here, but nationwide, whether to send kids to school, not send kids to school. Some were vaccinated, some weren't. And it was a tough decision at the time, but during that time, we felt that it was needed. I don't think as it was written, maybe how you're reading it, it was intended. And I get what you're trying to, I think, say in regards to it could be a cost burden, correct?
Yeah, I know from talking with Mr. Homan that it wasn't proposed like for emergency security, it was more for bona fide security, and I called a couple of different firms that do security for judges and elected officials and people in public office, and that's typically around $1,500 a day per person. And it's really expensive, considering we have, how many employees we have? So, 700?
Over 700.
700? So, you know, and I know it wouldn't be a widespread thing, but, you know, has there been a security risk incident since COVID that would cause this to be a necessity? To speak of, like, directly?
No, and you know, from the board work session we had, I know you had asked us to go back and revise the policy to talk about, our first and foremost is we always work with law enforcement agencies. And so from that board work session, the board asked us to go back and tweak that policy to talk about the collaboration, always working with, you know, our agencies first and foremost, which we did. And I specifically worded it as the board asked me to in our last work session, which is in the draft policy of the collaboration always comes first. If it would have to be with the recommendation of local law enforcement working collaboratively, that could be part of a plan, but everything is working in collaboration with local law enforcement.
Does the revision still include that being executed based upon if that being authorized by only the superintendent's authority?
It says in collaboration with police, working with them if they're not able to.
What I was advocating for in the work session, just to clarify that, because I might have done a poor job in doing that, is, you know, being that contractually our two staff members that are the top administrators in our whole district have those privileges afforded to them within their contracts. So what I was trying to avoid is a potential ethical conflict where they would be awarding something as a benefit to their family members off campus in school using their authority and tax dollars to pay for it. That was the main reason why I was advocating for, instead of the superintendent solely authorizing, the board authorized with a 3/5 vote after the collaboration, because certainly our board would be part of that collaboration, right? I think, for sure.
Yeah.
And so part of this first reading, and I do believe, as we're going to talk later, I think, and we discussed with Norm from Neola, whatever, you know, the board policy is from the board. So if the majority of the board wants to redo a policy, then it's, you know, or to tweak the policy, we can tweak those policies.
I don't see a need for redoing a policy, and I think Chris's explanation shows some really sound judgment to have it there as an available tool, because nobody could afford to see what we went through with COVID. And I mean, I watched the board meetings, whether you agree with it or not, people were put in some horrible situations, and you couldn't make the correct one because you were going to really offend somebody, right? No matter what you decided. So I'm sympathetic to that, but you know, it's more of a governance and an oversight role. I really think that is an astoundingly powerful authority to put in the hand of one person. I really think that our board has a bona fide responsibility if we're going to send private security out to the public off campus to protect our staff to be actively engaged in that. And that's really all I'm advocating for, is that, you know, because I know when we discussed it, there was a lot of discussion about intent and the intent of it. And my comment it kept coming back to was, well, it doesn't say that. So I just think good policy doesn't leave you asking questions. Good policy, especially in this realm that involves private security, answers every question in the policy itself and leaves no ambiguity at all. And that's all I'm really looking for. So I hope I did a better job explaining that than I might have in the work session, because we talked about a lot. So I had some other comments about it, but it was more tied into my legislative report. So I'll just wait and cover those then, but that's really the only thing that I had.
No other questions? Alrighty, do I have a motion to approve consent agenda items A through C?
So moved.
I second it.
First by Jason, second by Ann. Go back to the top. Business as usual, early graduation. B, approval of high school programs and studies. Thought Stacy sent out a relatively detailed PDF that explained all the changes there.
Yeah, I did want to say something about that. She's not here though. This is just more for our community. According to Ohio Department of Education and Workforce, we have 45% of our high school students with economic disadvantage. Maybe Mrs. Dobson, you can answer this. These are really amazing courses, and I know the answer to my question, but I want the community to know the answer. Can you tell us, for those community members that watch the meeting, how do those students access the courses with the fees?
There's a fee waiver process for all of our students. So the children that qualify as economic disadvantagement would meet that criteria, and those fees would be waived.
Okay, I just want our community to know that that they still have the same access to those wonderful classes. Yeah.
I have sort of a side question about that, not something that, Steve, you may know. Our latest state report card showed our economic disadvantaged students rose quite a bit as far as the percentage. Or is that a Laura question?
It is.
Okay, Laura, you can answer it. Are the 376 students that chose to take Ed Choice vouchers and attend school elsewhere removed from that? Or are they included in that metric? Do we know?
I mean, if you would have provided this information earlier, we could have checked, but I'm not sure. Are you referring to, what are you referring to? 376 students that are not enrolled in Miamisburg this year?
The numbers that we were given show that approximately 376 students that used to attend, that live in Miamisburg School District currently take Ed Choice vouchers and attend school elsewhere at a private school.
Okay.
So when our district is evaluated for the percentage of economic disadvantaged students in our district, are those students removed when they go to school somewhere else? That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, those students aren't counted in our enrollment, so they wouldn't be part of our demographics.
Okay, so we lost 400. Okay, thank you. That helps. Thank you.
C, resolution. Good.
Got any questions on it?
Yep.
So we talked about in the work session was more about that we're following all the processes and protocols with special ed, so.
All righty, roll call.
Mr. Mallory?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Mr. Ansler?
Yes.
Mr. Dackler?
Yes. Do I have a motion to approve agreements and contracts? I move for the approval hold on, I'm sorry. I skipped human resources. Rookie up here. Do I have a motion to approve human resource item?
I move for the approval of personnel contracts, certified, classified, supplemental stipends, all that.
I second it.
Thank you. Any questions? Roll call.
Mr. Mallory.
Yes.
Mrs. Neese.
Yes.
Mr. Ansler.
Yes.
Mr. Dappler.
Yes. Now we're on to agreements and contracts. Do I have a motion to approve agreements and contracts?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Neese.
Yes.
Mr. Ansler.
Yes.
Mr. Dappler.
Yes.
Mr. Mallory.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve financial items A through C?
I move to approve financial agenda items A through C.
Second.
Ms. Hillard?
All right, I'll just go down the list here. Item A is approval of transfers, which is the school fees waived. This is a procedural item that happens during this time to make sure that those transfers are made for those fee waivers. Item B is the approval of purchase orders and in and out invoices. There's 2 purchase orders that exceed the amount that the board has set in place that need to be approved by the board. That's Biloxi and AI for All LLC. Those are attached in your packet. There's also a then and now for the impact group, and that is just because of a date, your $5,000 invoice there. Item C is the authorization for amendment of the appropriations and certificate of estimated resources. That is a procedural item. And item D is to approve all of those above. Are there any questions?
I was just curious about the AI training. Seems interesting. Is that for, I'm guessing that's for all staff members to learn how to navigate or use AI to help, I guess?
Well, it's not all. I believe we had a group that signed up and are getting that training.
Okay.
So, and
I think
then
that's just the name of the company is AI for All.
that's
Sorry.
providing.
Oh, I thought it was like AI
Yeah.
intelligence.
Yeah,
It's AI for All
Yes.
LLC.
Yeah,
Oh,
so.
Mess you up.
yeah,
It's okay.
okay. AI.
I just want to say AI is awesome. We've started to use it a little bit in our house with our students, and it is so cool. You can put a specific topic in, and that a kid is studying, and with the right software, it can quiz your kid at home. And then when your kid gets the answers wrong, can work you back through them and focus on certain things. It's really, really innovative. It's really cool, and I think it'd be a really huge asset to help our students. And it's hard to understand, but once you start to play with it like anything else, phone or iPad or whatever, it is a really cool tool. So I was excited to see that.
Yeah. But this was for training.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But we do have software that our teachers use, and I think depending on the software, there are some options available for students. I think maybe some of our technology teachers use it with them in the STEM classes and some of the higher level. Stacy would have a better idea, but I think we're just now starting to get that training for our teachers so that we can help use it correctly with our students.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Ansler.
Yes.
Mr. Dappler.
Yes.
Mr. Mallory.
Yes?
And Mrs. Neese.
Yes.
All right, that brings us to the reports. Ms. Molly?
So the MVCTC board meeting was this Tuesday. There are a lot of updates. I want to kind of catch you up since I was not here in November and December, which is really hard retail-wise for me, and I apologize for that. The balance in the general fund right now is $50,023. I'm going to get this wrong. $23,490.23. Right now, they're in a really good position. this time of the year, as she had said, as the treasurer here, things are starting to finally balance out. So, they're pretty solid. They had 1,485 students apply for next school year already, which is 85 students over last year at this time. They are already at capacity with the new building. They've filled it. So we'll see how that goes and what happens next. Our meetings are always on the second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. and that will continue. It was voted on. And our board retreat will be on June 28th at 8:30 a.m. They have pushed the July meeting a little bit, so they're not so close together, but I always go on those times. I was actually in this role for 1 year at their Christmas meeting, so I'm feeling a little more comfortable with the process and the people and everything. I am going to be a substitute on their financial audit committee this year, so if I do attend any of those, I'll let you know what's going on. We do have 2 new board members. The one is from Preble County Educational Service Center, and Lori Gibson is our new representative at the West Carrollton City School District. So those are 2 new people. January was declared their Board of Appreciation Month as well, and we all received a certificate with a thank you note in it. Miami Valley CTC is in the process of redoing their 5-year plan. Their 5-year plan is up this year, and they use a company called Strategic Leadership Association, LLC, and it's helping them create the next 5-year steps. And they have used them in the past and really feel very comfortable with them. So when we get further along in that process, I'll have that report for you. But it does help them keep on target and meet the growing needs of the school. They are also working on a land process or project, and this is something that the board had voted on before, but until they made the offer and it was accepted, it was pretty quiet because they didn't want to bid anymore and things like that. It is land that currently is being farmed, and then some of it is just vacant land. So the kids could actually start farming this land. It is very close to the school, and it would be easy for students to get back and forth from school to the land. And if the kids don't farm it, they can still rent it out. It is currently being rented to be farmed. The cool thing is the down the road process is looking at maybe doing some lots and letting the students build houses. And they would build a house at a time and use all the skills of all the students in the school. There is one snag in that what was the description in the purchase is not what the description of the legal description of the land. So they're waiting for the snow to melt to do a survey to make sure that everything lines up. So this will probably go through as soon as that is done, and then I can give you all the final details of that. But it's really cool to see them looking at next steps already for that. In the student news, 2 students, Lincoln Bentley of Miamisburg and Jacob Strickland of Vandalia Butler, earned first place out of 118 teams in the red team hacking competition, which I don't know if I'm good or scared about that. But it was. So it's called Capture the Flag, and they won out of 118 teams. So we want them on our side, basically. The FFA charity auction that the school holds every year raised over $14,000 for the Ronald McDonald House, and this was a record to date. So that's pretty cool. It is in November, and I will get the dates for you next year and make sure. It's amazing what they get donated, and then they auction off and donate all the money to Ronald McDonald House. So it's a great event, and the kids help organize it and do a lot. So it's pretty cool. The students at Miamisburg are learning a new Aspire software program that attend the CTC classes in the satellite. The creator, John Gold, came from California to help teach the kids this. And then Seth, I'm going to mess up his last name, I think it's Plum. He's president of Breeder Landscaping. He's also helping in the class to show people like the real job impacts that these programs will make for them as students and for other people to hire. So I thought that was a really cool program that these kids are getting firsthand knowledge of what they can do when they get out of school and how they can create more jobs for other people. 22 Miamisburg students also took a total of 33 courses for college credit in the College Credit Plus program. And MVCTC hosted 3,124 sophomore students from 26 partner schools for career days. So the students could all come to the school and visit 2 different programs and see if they fit into it. And then they had an open house after that the students could bring their families and say, this is what I'm so excited about. So it was a very big success this year, and I think that it's just going to keep going up in enrollment. So those were the highlights of the meeting. Is there any questions?
I just want to let you know that Stacy and I were at the CTC today, reviewing our satellite programs that we have in place and just planning for the future. So they're a delightful team, so thank you.
Yeah, they're amazing people.
So it's exciting to see opportunities that we have, not only for our students that attend there, but our satellite programs at the middle school and the high school. So it's exciting.
It is
more news to come. So might be some new programs coming in at our next meeting. So
I think the student body is ready. It's just amazing how to see the kids that come to the board meetings and how excited they are in wanting to learn more and do more. It's just very rewarding. I've enjoyed the year. So
great.
Thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you for serving.
Mr. Mallory, legislative liaison.
Say liaison again. But, I'll be brief. I'm going to just offer a little update on the report that I delivered on December the 19th that I believe was posted in the meeting minutes last month. House Bill 8, known as the Parents' Bill of Rights, was signed by Governor DeWine on the 8th of January 2025 and will become law in Ohio in 90 days. And just to give a brief overview, House Bill 8 will require schools to inform parents of any sexuality content taught, and also notify parents of any health or mental health care provided to students. So parents have the opportunity to opt out in advance. Schools will also be required to notify parents if their child requests counseling or asked to be called by a different name or pronoun. And the bill also requires schools to allow students to attend off-site religious instruction during the school day. Just a quick note on that, I met Amanda Gates, who is doing a program called LifeWise here in Miamisburg, and attended a pastoral conference where she had all the pastors from the community attend their group. It was really well done. They're really well intended, and I was glad to see that be an opportunity. And to help, I stepped up and sponsored 2 economic disadvantaged families for the year to be able to attend and take advantage of that, because I fully feel like it's very worthwhile. Moving on to House Bill 206, that was a student expulsion revision that allowed expulsions to be renewed, and offered a option to develop criteria for an assessment of a psychiatrist or licensed psychologist to evaluate a student to determine if they pose a danger to staff or students at the end of an expulsion as part of an evaluation to reintroduce a student to the classroom. Has there been any progress on developing anything like that? I know we've talked about student discipline issues. Is there anything being developed for that at all yet?
not at this time. We will wait until the Ohio Department of Education provides us the guidelines based on what the legislative decisions have been made.
Great. That's really all I had. There was those two things in December. I just want to provide those two updates. That 90 days from the 8th of January, they will be law in the state of Ohio. Thank you.
Chris?
Along with Quentin Brewer being our district student of the month, we also have a number of other students in various other schools that deserve the recognition as well. And with that being said, we have Bauer Primary School, Aisha Ibrahim, Bear Primary School, Sky Scarlett, Jane Chance Intermediate School, Anya Rabanali, Maddox Lane, Avery Jackson, Mark Twain Primary School, Kennedy Bennix, Meadowview Primary School, Trinity Brewer. Mound Intermediate School, Natalie Rudd. Miamisburg Middle School, Sophia Shirley. And Miamisburg High School, Rumer Pesik. Did I say that right? Pesik? Pesik. Okay. Congratulations to all of our students of the month, and especially Mr. Brewer. So that's all I have. On to the Montgomery County Drug and Free Coalition liaison is Nyla, but Ann attended the meeting for her today.
Yeah, it's always right before the board meeting, so I know it's probably not real organized here, but 29 people attended. Just a reminder about the poetry and poster contest that's held every year. I know Miamisburg students have placed in the past. Also, it will be Mental Health Month coming up, and the focus will be on stigma. Stigma seems to be a barrier for seeking treatment. The presentation today was about the Conversation for Change event that I believe is held every 3 months, and it's a resource fair for substance abuse. They provide a meal. They have numerous vendors there offering support and resources. There's testing for hepatitis C, and there's HIV testing. They have Narcan training and kits, and there were 101 kits distributed. The participants were 46% female and 54% male. These are all people that are have substance abuse problems. 73% of the participants indicated that they have unstable housing. 72% said it was hard to get food on a daily basis. Some of the chronic conditions, 48% of the participants indicated that they had hypertension. 45% indicated that they had diabetes. And there were a lot of other conditions as well. 31% needed service for substance abuse, and transportation is often a barrier. There will be a fundraiser for the Drug Coalition. There will be a comedy show on Thursday, April 24th at Sinclair. It starts at 5:30. There will be food and fellowship. And at 6:30 will be the showtime at Building 12 in Smith Hall. It's just amazing the amount of people in Montgomery County that are showing up for people with substance abuse. The network is outstanding because I've been on the coalition before, and it's just amazing. And I know just here in Miamisburg, the house on the corner of 5th and Central was just donated to His Hope Mission to house men that are in recovery. So there's just all kinds of networking going on. But yeah, it's just a great group of people that provide all kinds of resources for people in need, especially these people with substance abuse problems. That's about it.
Thank you, Ann. Next is district news and information. I do not have anything to read, so we will move on to final comments and roundtable, and I'm going to switch it up and start with Ms. Molly.
Actually, thank you so much for my card. I really appreciate that, and it's been a pleasure working with you, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Daffler. You did a great job. The structure of our meeting tonight, I liked it. Parliamentary process was good. I just want to reiterate to the community that there is a lot of information and hyperlinks on our board docs website. So we didn't just breeze through this. We all reviewed it ahead of time. It's all available for you all to review as members of the public. If you go to our board docs website and click on the meeting, all the attachments are there for you to open up. So if we don't read every line item of a item that's being considered for you for the broadcast, it's available to you to read at your leisure. Second, I want to thank Regina and offer her an apology for making her do calisthenics with our meeting minutes during our organization meeting. I know I sent a request to change to Ms. Hillard, who I hope will be ours all day, every day at some point, but she wasn't that day, and there was a late minute change that kind of turned everything upside down on its head. So I want to thank her for her efforts and everybody's efforts to make that what it needs to be. You know, I heard some comments in the community and some frustrations about the recent snow days, and you know, there again, it's another very impossible decision to make sometimes, and I know it affects people's work days, but the decisions that our administrators are making are absolutely in the best interest of student safety, and sometimes weather forecasts and the timing of them hitting are wrong, and you can't predict that. You can just use sound judgment and the best information in front of you to make the best decision you can. I know our administrators do that and want our students to be in the buildings at every opportunity they can. Is this for Board Recognition Month? This card? This is very sweet. To everybody who got me a TJ Chumps gift certificate, thank you very much. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had. The only other thing that I wanted to clarify, well, I'll just wait and clarify it off the record. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to our social worker, Casey Hess, and teacher Sarah Pelfrey, and all of the volunteers and donations for the Christmas tree store. It was so successful. It was absolutely amazing. 189 families in our district benefited from the Christmas tree store. 540 kids were served. The neat thing about it is that yesterday when I attended the Hope for Miamisburg meeting, Miss Hess said that she'll be following up with support for these families throughout the year. So I thought that was just so cool. The other thing is I just want to thank the maintenance staff for getting the pathways and entrances to the schools all cleared. That was a lot of heavy lifting. I know I had to shovel our back sidewalk and that snow was heavy. The other thing that I think is really important, and I just read about this recently, and I actually wrote our District 5 Senator Stephen Huffman a letter today. There's a possibility that the third phase of the Ohio Fair School Funding Plan may not be implemented. This would diminish opportunities for students who attend public schools. So I encourage all of our board members to write our legislators and our community members as well. If you have concerns about this, 90% of students attend public schools.
Well, I'll be brief. I just wanted to remind everybody that I will not be here next month. With that being said, I did want to welcome everybody back from holiday break. I concur with Jason in regards to the decisions that Laura and Steve make are hard decisions. I know we have collaborated on the phone a couple times, and but the idea of keeping our staff and students safe and our parking lots and sidewalks and everything cleared off is a monumental task, and I think everybody has done a wonderful job with that, collaborating with everybody, and it's a hard decision, and thank you for those hard decisions. With Counselors Week, I will be at the Phoenix Open, but I did want to shout out to I've worked with Melissa over the past couple weeks with a student at the high school. And I just wanted to say that she has done a remarkable job of accommodating a particular student to thrive and succeed in our high school. And she is doing so very well. And I just wanted to thank her publicly and say thank you for all the hard work. And with that being said, I will move it on to Ms. Katrina.
So I'm going to be super brief and focus some comments on our staff this time. Those snow days are tough for everyone, but our treasurer staff still has to show up and make sure that we all get everything processed and paid. So they worked hard, and they are all learning a little bit of new roles. There's been some turnover in the office, so I just want to say I appreciate them all for being patient, and all the rest of the staff for being patient with our office as we navigate through things. So thank you to them, thank you to all our staff, and thank you to the board members.
I would just like to say thank you for your patience for my first meeting here. Wanted to change it up a little bit and thought, as Mr. Mallory said, with all the available content on board docs, that we could streamline this a little better. And you know, if you have anything that you need, central office is always available. We're always available for a call as well. And welcome back, and off to a new good year. So.
I want to congratulate Chris because it's tomorrow your official last day of your service to the Miami Valley Fire District. So thank you. It's exciting. Give a round of applause. And as I said earlier, Mom, the MVCTC, we were up there today. The building is completely finished. It's wonderful. You know, I mean, there's no construction anywhere. It's wonderful. You know where to go in, and it was just a great experience to visit today. So we are so excited to continue to have that partnership, and I know how much it benefits our students. So, and they are still great partners on the satellite program and willing to expand and grow that. So that's great for our students. Many options. And just a reminder, board members, the annual Board Member Institute from Montgomery County is coming up February 1st. You'll be getting a schedule sent email in the morning as a reminder to let myself know, because I'll register us all, and Katrina's on that email as well. It's Saturday, February 1st, and that's at the ESC on, in Dayton on Keeley Street. So, and she said she'll be sending in a detailed agenda soon. So just let me know if anyone can attend and is interested, because everyone can. They don't have to be new board members. I know, Anne, you've attended multiple times. So, yes. That's always a bonus, right? Yes. And of course, congratulations to Quentin, who's a little shy, but we're super proud of him and excited. And Anne, again, thank you for your service for the past year. So, and then there is a middle school band concert this evening. So excited about their winter concert, and Mr. Wintersheim and Mrs. Bennett, they work hard, and of course even Mr. Ayward behind the scenes. So we're hoping to pop in there after the meeting, so thank you. We're able to get a few things done. And then we do have a task on our hands, because Asosa and Maddie will be graduating in just a few short months. So then our new senior board reps, Andrew and Sophia, and I'll need a couple of board members to volunteer so that we can begin the selection and succession process as we onboard 2 new sophomores, hopefully, before the school year ends, so they'll be ready to hit the ground rolling come August. So it is planning time. I've talked to counselors, and I know Mrs. Dobson and a lot of the staff were talking kindergarten and preschool registration. So this has been our first year of all-day kindergarten for everyone, and I know they had a big discussion about the registration process coming and working on getting announcements out to our families. So I'll leave it at that. It's your turn.
All right. So I'll be brief, but I do want to give a couple shout outs here. Definitely to our maintenance crew and our mechanics. I don't know if people realize how much snow was out there. and trying to push it around and to do the best we can with it. So I'm very grateful to them. And then also want to do a shout out to the bus drivers. So even though your main roads are clear, your side streets are very hard to maneuver through there with all the snow against the side. It's very hard to make the pass-throughs. There was still ice on the back streets. So I just want to express my appreciation to them too. It's not, I know, try driving a huge vehicle when you don't like it in your car, but try to do a big vehicle between cars parked on both sides. So I am very grateful and very appreciative to our staff for that. And then also shout out to the board members. Congratulations, National Board Month. You get the good, you get the bad, you get it all. But it is, you've all said before, it's a public servant, and I know all of you do it for the best for our kids in the community. So thank you very much. And then also, believe it or not, we have senior nights already coming up for winter sports. It's hard to believe. So congratulations to all those seniors who are finishing up their final sports of the year. And we already have some of the spring training already in session. So that's it.
First, I'd like to say I can't believe it's almost been a year. That's kind of crazy to say out loud. With the reunion of the new year, the other student reps and I have just started to resume our project again with visiting all the elementary schools. There was a National Honor Society meeting today, and we briefed the members of the possible volunteering that we could use from them for the elementary schools. Other than that, I really don't have much more to report.
I just want to say congratulations to Mr. Daffler and Mr. Amsler on their new board positions. You guys have been great, and looking forward to the year. And just a thank you to Mrs. Neese for everything you've done the past year for being president. I know I can always go to you with questions, and you were really helpful, so thank you. This isn't really a board kind of topic, but school-related. In the National Honor Society meeting we had today, they gave us some candy bars to sell, and I brought them with me today. So if anyone's interested in getting a candy bar after the meeting, they're $2 each. It has to be in cash, but I have a lot of different flavors right now. So if you want some candy, some sweet treats, just come to me after the meeting. And everything. I can't do Venmo. It has to be cash. Yeah.
Those treasure guidelines. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
We'll stop by and find you at the high school.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, Happy New Year, everyone. It feels good to be back. Congratulations, Mr. Daffler, and thank you, Ms. Meeks, for the past year. I really enjoyed my time here, and it is kind of sad in a few months. I will be graduating and moving on. So I'm just going to soak up the rest of the moments as much as I can. And yeah, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
6:58, roll call.
Mr. Dappler,
Yes.
Mr. Mowry,
Yes.
Mrs. Neese, Mr. Amsler.
Yes.
Chris,
Are all
your
the
last
meetings
day
going to
tomorrow.
be like this, Corey?
I hope.